Hey everyone, Law Productions here, and today it is so exciting because GHPC has finally released on Steam. Not like completely, it's not 1.0 or anything, but it's early access on Steam. Previously it was on itch.io. It was basically you downloaded the entire game in its like own little folder onto your desktop and then you would play it. But now it is on Steam, and what you're currently seeing is it in Steam. So I'll just get straight to it. The price is currently $26.99. That is 10% off normally. Without the sale, it'll be $29.99. And they said that in the future, they plan on, or it is to be expected that the price of $30 will increase. And also, I don't really expect any huge major sales, like more than maybe 25%. Don't expect anything crazy with this to go on sale like during Christmas or something, because it is a small team, it is a very new game. They really need all the support they can get, so don't expect a really big sale or anything anytime soon. But let's talk about the game. So what is GHPC? Basically, at this stage currently, it is player versus AI. There's multiple vehicles to choose from. There's a campaign, also pre-made levels, which you'll play on the blue or red side. There are several different maps which are all really big. You never feel like you're getting into the same place the same time. You can memorize the place. They're actually all unique, and all the different levels are in different positions on the maps, so it always feels fresh whenever you play the new level. The visual effects are not super amazing. It's not something you can expect from a game that is so early in development, but the sound design is where it shines. You'd be hard pressed to find someone that says this game sounds bad. In fact, the voice acting in this game is arguably one of the best in this game category. And it's not just the crew voices that sound good, it's also the internals of the tank. Take a listen of the M1 Abrams.
Loader ready! Ammo loaded! Gunner ready! Ammo index! Identified. Relay! Fire! On the way! Help! Engage! Fuck me! Target! Engage!
And take a listen at the T-72. And yes, this game is still in very early access, even though there is a lot of playtime that can be had in this game and the pre-made missions and also the campaign. It is not the most developed game, but by getting it, you're supporting them and you're encouraging them to work harder and work for more content for you to play, and also to make just an amazing game. There are a lot of plans ahead though, a lot of them which are very exciting, because the end goal is to have a multiplayer tank game where there are multiple players in each tank controlling different parts of the tank as the different crew members and fighting against the other side. And it's not going to be your standard arcade game where you can just repair your tracks or repair your gun. If your tank is inoperable, it's inoperable and you're out. If one of your crew members dies, he's dead. There's no bringing crew members back to life in this game. But there's no better way to know what the plans are than to look at the roadmap, because there is a roadmap and I'm going to go into that right now. So taking a look at the early access roadmap we've got here, this was released actually a very long time ago, 3 months ago. We can see everything, all their plans to add, stuff like that, before the 1.0 release. So first wave of the basic campaign, this was actually, we already have the campaign in the game. Obviously it's not finished, nothing's finished in the game, but this was previously one of those things that only Patreon could have. Now it's access to everyone, and we're pretty much past this and into the fire support. So we do have artillery, which is kind of testing the fire support in my theory, but the main fire support is with, you know, planes, fire mission columns, aircraft flyover, and mission queue mechanics. Then after that, we'll get infantry, so dismounting infantry, basic garrisoning, deployable weapons, just squad behavior, stuff like that. Other things aside from inside of a vehicle. These Soviets, because right now we actually just have East Germany, it's not actually Soviet themselves. So all of the respective stuff for them. Detailed crew, which will split the work into the different crew members. Also probably giving them like an HD texture. Next is West Germany. You can see right here, another leopard. Pretty cool teaser for that. And this, again, we have East Germany in the game right now, so this would be West Germany. But after that, enhanced destruction, new pyrotechnic visual effects, damage to visualization, vegetation destruction, impact decals, which would probably mean like if something hit your tank, it would show like a little mark or something. Expanded campaign, you can see a little hind in the background, Mi-24. Recon and logistic objectives, dynamic frontline, tactical advantage, and favorite mechanics, which is very cool. And then lastly, multiplayer, which is all of that with your friends. So this is where you're really going to see Gunner GHPC shine. You're going to see where its unique features and mechanics really come to play here. Because remember, if this is a multiplayer game, it's not just a tank v tank game. It is a multiplayer game where not everyone's in each tank. Multiple people are in a tank, and there are multiple tanks going against multiple people in multiple tanks. So there's a lot of teamwork that's going to go into here, and it's going to be very cool to see how it can play out in multiplayer along with everything else. So it's going to be very exciting, this roadmap and early access. What's nice though is that their updates are kind of frequent. I mean, not super frequent, but they introduce small things at a time instead of huge patches delayed by extreme amounts. So I mean, you can see here 8 days ago, 16 days ago, this is just early access information. 2 months ago, not that. 3 months ago, so you know, about once every month, 2 months, a little bit, maybe even more than that if it's something big, but it is pretty common. So this is the screen that you are greeted with when you first launch the game on Steam, or just whenever you launch the game or go to the main menu. So, I mean, you can read this yourself. I won't really read this. It's just a lot of bug fixes. There's nothing really new introduced into the Steam version versus like the Patreon version, because what they had was the normal, like, free, anyone can get it version, and they had Patreon, which had access to, you know, the T-72, the M1, but then now everyone has access to everything, even also the campaign that was also Patreon limited. Everyone has access to everything because, you know, you're paying money. And also, I think it's worth noting that if you supported them on Patreon and you spent, or you gave them basically more than $25 over the course of your patronage, they will give you a Steam key. Go read about that in their, you know, posts and stuff. I'm not going to go into depth on that. But real quick, I'm going to go into the, I don't know how to pronounce it, tank range, because this is a showcase which is very interesting. So I don't recall this being in the game actually until this, unless I have like Alzheimer's or something. This seems to be new. And this is showing everything, every tank that is currently existed, or vehicle that is in the game right now. There is actually, here, I'll just cycle through them. So M60A3 TTS, the M1 normal, M60A1 Rise passive. This one is very interesting. See my previous video about that. The M2 Bradley, the UAZ, BRDM2, the 9K11 or 111, which is basically a Russian tow. T55A, M923, Ural, M113, the tow already said that, BMP1, and then T72M and the T72M1. Aside from that, though, this map has some very cool things behind it. So this says work in progress vehicles. Now, they have teased some of these, but they haven't been on showcase like this. I think this is a new map, but this M901 ITV, this is like a tow launcher M113. This you could use in the testing range, or the proving grounds is what it's called, but they're putting it here because it is not in the game really. We've got a Leopard 1A 1A1. Could they have enough 1As? Maybe add a few more to it, but this is very exciting because, I mean, the other German tanks are technically Russian, so this is the tried and true German tank. Then we've got the T-62 1972 versus just now, or currently we have the T-55A, the T-64A 1981. This one is very cool looking indeed. The BMP-2, War Thunder players are having a seizure right now, and then the BTR-60PB. So these, they'll just be releasing in the future. Again, you can't like test them at all. There's no extra Patreon thing for these. These are literally work in progress vehicles. They're pretty much teasing them. Join the Gunner Heat PC Discord if you want to see those teasers. You want to be ahead on the news and stuff like that. I highly suggest it. It's a pretty good Discord. Gunner Heat PC, they have a website. This is kind of like the hub for all the info, everything about it. The Steam webpage, you know, it has all its things. It's a Steam webpage, but I do suggest you go through the website first just to get an idea of everything. You can see all of the all the quick links right here. This was the last patch, 2020-830, and that was 7 days ago. This is the final update of the demos, and the demos are deactivated currently. So if you have a demo, if you currently have it downloaded, consider keeping it just for like a keepsake or something, because it's not going to resurface. These things are not, you're not going to be able to get it again. Real additions are in the previous patch before this. I made a video about it, info card right there. And that is all I have to cover in today's episode. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. Hopefully you checked out Gunner HPC if you have been following it, if you have been thinking about it, if you never even heard of it. Maybe this has taught you something. Hopefully it did, and hopefully you'll have some fun playing the game. Of course, I've got to plug my Twitch, twitch.tv/llamaproductions_. I mostly just stream the Arma 3 ops that I play with my unit, but I also do other things whenever the time arises. And as far as my YouTube channel goes, like, comment, subscribe, all those things. Let me know that you like this content, you want to see more of it. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.